Happiness isn't something you find, it's something you create. And right now, you might be sitting there, drowning in negative thoughts, feeling stuck. But let me tell you something. That cycle ends today. Most people live their lives like a boat without a rudder, drifting wherever the waves take them, letting fear, doubt, and pain control their happiness. But if you stay with me, I will show you how to take back the wheel, how to shift your mindset no matter what's happening in your life. By the end of this, you will have the tools to erase negativity and create unstoppable happiness on command. Because happiness is not an accident, it's a skill, and I'm about to show you how to master it. Your mind is the most powerful weapon you will ever own, but most people treat it like a battlefield they've already lost. You wake up and the first thoughts that hit you aren't inspiration or gratitude. They're doubt, stress, and fear. You tell yourself you're not good enough, that today will be just like yesterday, that life is unfair. But here's the truth. Your thoughts are not facts. They are just habits. And if you don't take control of them, they will take control of you. Imagine this. You're standing in front of two doors. Behind one is a life where you wake up driven, powerful, and unstoppable. Behind the other is a world where fear dictates every move, where negativity clouds every decision. Which door you walk through every day depends on what you allow to dominate your mind. There's a reason successful people think differently. It's not luck, it's not talent. It's a trained mindset. They've conditioned their brains to filter out negativity and focus on solutions. Take Michael Jordan. The greatest basketball player of all time wasn't born with an unshakable mindset. He was cut from his high school basketball team. He could have let that define him. Instead, he reprogrammed his mind to turn rejection into fuel. He chose to see himself as a champion before anyone else did. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, not happy. It wants comfort, not growth. That's why your first instinct is always to doubt yourself. That's why you hesitate before taking risks, why you replay past failures like a broken record. But here's what no one tells you. Your mind is a liar. It will trick you into believing you are powerless, that your past defines you, that you're not worthy of more. And the only way to win is to stop listening. The next time you hear that voice telling you you're not good enough, I want you to ask one question. Who gave it permission to speak? Because that voice, it's not yours. It's years of programming, society, parents, teachers, old failures. And today, you take back control. Try this right now. Say out loud, I am the thinker of my thoughts. I control them, they don't control me. That simple shift is everything. When negativity creeps in, don't fight it, replace it. Every time a thought tells you you're not enough, answer back, I am enough. I am capable. I am unstoppable. Say it like you mean it, because the more you do, the more your mind starts to believe it. Muhammad Ali used to say, I am the greatest long before he was. He wasn't lying. He was training his brain to believe it so deeply that the world had no choice but to follow. That is how you win the war in your mind, not by avoiding negativity, but by deciding every single day that you are bigger than it. Your mind is a battlefield. It's time to take back control. You ever notice how one bad thought turns into a storm? You wake up feeling off, and before you know it, your mind is replaying every mistake, every failure, every time someone doubted you. It's like a playlist of negativity on repeat, and you don't even realize you're the one hitting replay. But here's the truth. That cycle is a lie. It's not reality. It's a habit. And like any habit, it can be broken. Your brain is a machine designed for survival, not happiness. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors had to scan for danger. Was that a rustle in the grass or a predator ready to attack? The ones who stayed alert, who obsessed over potential threats, survived. The problem is that same wiring is still in you today. But you're not running from saber-toothed tigers, you're running from your own thoughts. Think about this. You're driving to work and someone cuts you off. Instantly, you're furious. You start thinking about how inconsiderate people are, how society is falling apart. But it doesn't stop there. That frustration follows you. Suddenly, your boss's email feels like an attack. The coffee being slightly too cold is personal. By noon, your entire day is ruined, all because of a single moment you let spiral out of control. Now imagine if you caught that moment and shattered it before it took hold. Imagine if the second that car cut you off, you did something ridiculous, laughed, shouted, something absurd, like, well, there goes another audition for Fast and Furious 12. Your brain would stop. It would have no choice but to snap out of the loop. That's the power of pattern interruption. The greatest performers in the world, from athletes to entrepreneurs, use this trick. Serena Williams, when she makes a mistake, she doesn't sit there dwelling on it. She has a physical reset. She adjusts her wristbands, bounces the ball a certain way. It's a small action that tells her brain, forget the last point, focus on the next one. Now, let's talk about you. What's your pattern? When stress hits, do you slouch? Do you sigh? Do you repeat the same negative phrases in your head? If so, it's time to break the script. Right now, create a new pattern. Next time you feel negativity creeping in, do something unexpected. Stand up, jump, clap your hands, say something bizarre, trick your brain into shifting, because the moment you do, you take back control. I want you to understand something. Your thoughts are not your destiny. They are just electrical signals firing in your brain. And the good news, you control the switchboard. Negative spirals only continue because you let them. Interrupt the pattern and you stop the spiral before it takes over. That's how you win. Not by fighting negativity, but by refusing to give it space in your mind. Your life is happening now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. And the second you master this, when you take control of your patterns, you take control of your future. Your body is a signal. Every movement you make, every posture you hold, every breath you take is sending a message to your brain. The problem is most people don't realize they're broadcasting the wrong message. You think you're just tired, but your slumped shoulders, shallow breaths, and slow movements are actually telling your brain, I am weak, I am defeated, I am not in control. And your brain, it listens. It obeys. It feeds you thoughts that match your posture. But here's the game changer. Your mind doesn't control your body controls your mind. And if you master that, you can change your state in seconds. Let me prove it to you. Right now, wherever you are, sit up straight, lift your chin, take a deep breath, expand your chest. Now smile, not a small one, a big, exaggerated, goofy grin. Hold it. Feel that shift? That's not random, that's chemistry. Your brain sees your posture change and starts releasing dopamine, serotonin, happiness chemicals. It has no choice. Science backs this up. In one study, researchers had people hold a pencil in their mouths, forcing a smile while watching a video. Those who smiled, even involuntarily, reported feeling happier than those who didn't. The simple act of moving your face changed their emotion. Another study found that standing in a power pose, shoulders back, chest up, for just 2 minutes increased testosterone and decreased cortisol, more confidence, less stress. Think about elite athletes. When a sprinter steps onto the track, do they slump, drag their feet, breathe shallow? No, they bounce. They puff up their chest. They take deep, powerful breaths. They move like winners before the race even begins. Why? Because they know their physiology dictates their mindset. Now let's get real. Imagine you've had a terrible day. Everything went wrong. You feel exhausted, overwhelmed. What's your instinct? To collapse on the couch, scroll mindlessly, sigh deeply. But that's the trap. The moment you let your body sink into that defeated posture, your mind follows. And suddenly, you're not just tired, you're drained, hopeless, stuck in negativity. But what if you did the opposite? What if instead of collapsing, you stood up, stretched your arms high, took 3 deep breaths and jumped up and down? You wouldn't feel the same. You couldn't. Your body would have sent a new message. I am strong. I am alive. I am in control. Tony Robbins himself uses this every single day. Before stepping on stage, he jumps, he moves, he breathes with power. He primes his body for peak performance because he knows energy isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. And that's your answer. You don't need to wait for motivation. You don't need to wait for happiness. You command it right now. Shift your body and your mind will follow. Because once you master your physiology, you master your emotions. And when you master your emotions, you master your life. Life isn't fair. People will lie to you, betray you, leave you broken when you least expect it. You will face setbacks that aren't your fault. Maybe you already have. Maybe you grew up in a toxic home. Maybe you were told you'd never amount to anything. Maybe you were cheated, abandoned, overlooked. I get it. But let me tell you something that will change your life forever. None of that determines your future. What does? The story you choose to tell yourself about it. Some people go through hell and use it as fuel. Others let it define them, trap them, make them bitter. The difference? Ownership. Because as long as you blame something or someone else, you are powerless. The second, you take ownership of your emotions, your mindset, your response. You take back control. There's a story about 2 brothers who grew up with an abusive alcoholic father. One became a drunk, violent man, repeating the cycle. The other became a highly successful entrepreneur, known for his discipline and kindness. When asked why, both gave the same answer: because of my father. One used the past as an excuse, the other used it as motivation. Same pain, two different choices. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. And if you're waiting for life to be fair before you allow yourself to be happy, you will be waiting forever. There are people who have been through far worse than you and found happiness. There are people who have been through far less and are still miserable. Why? Because happiness isn't about circumstances, it's about focus. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, lost everything, his family, his home, his freedom. But even in the darkest conditions, he realized something most people never understand. They could take his body, but they could never take his mind. He chose to find meaning in his suffering, and that choice gave him freedom. Most people live trapped in a victim mindset without even realizing it. They say things like, I can't be happy because of my past. I'd succeed if it weren't for my boss, my family, my childhood. But the moment you say, I am responsible for my own happiness, everything shifts. You stop waiting for apologies, for circumstances to change, for the world to hand you peace. You take it. So what's your excuse? Too tired? Too broke? Too unlucky? Every single person you admire has faced challenges. They didn't succeed because life was easy. They succeeded because they took control when others quit. And you can too. Decide right now. Are you going to let your past define you, or are you going to use it to fuel you? Because the moment you stop playing the victim is the moment you start owning your happiness. And when you own your happiness, nothing, not pain, not people, not circumstances can take it from you. That's real freedom. And it's yours if you choose it. Your brain is like a search engine. Whatever you type in, it will find. If you wake up and ask, why is my life so hard? Your mind will pull up every failure, every rejection, every reason to feel miserable. But if you ask, what's one thing I can be grateful for right now? Your brain will search for that too. And in that moment, you take back control, because happiness isn't about what happens to you, it's about where you focus. There's a story about two soldiers returning from war. One was haunted by the past, stuck in his trauma, unable to move forward. The other, despite living through the same horrors, found a way to rebuild, to love, to appreciate life. The difference? One focused on what he lost, the other focused on what he still had. Same experiences, two completely different realities. Why? Because reality is not what happens to you, it's what you choose to see. Your brain is wired for survival, not happiness. It scans for threats, problems, negativity, because thousands of years ago that kept us alive. But in today's world, this instinct works against you. That's why you can have an amazing day, but if one bad thing happens, that's all you think about. Your brain latches onto negativity because it thinks it's protecting you. But you don't need protection from life. You need to learn how to enjoy it. This is why gratitude is not just a nice idea, it's a weapon, a way to rewire your brain to stop focusing on what's missing and start seeing what's already there. Science proves that practicing gratitude lowers stress, boosts happiness, and literally changes brain chemistry. But you have to train it, just like going to the gym. You don't build muscle by thinking about working out, you build it by doing the reps. So here's the exercise. Every morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not generic things like my family or my job. Get specific. The way the sun felt on my face this morning. The laugh I had with my friend yesterday. When you do this consistently, you force your brain to search for good things throughout the day. And suddenly your focus shifts. You start noticing small moments of joy you used to overlook. Think about a time when you really wanted something, a car, a job, a relationship. The moment you focused on it, you started seeing it everywhere. That's how your brain works. Whatever you direct it toward, it will find. So direct it toward the good. Life isn't perfect. Bad things will happen. But if you train yourself to find the good no matter what, you will be unshakable. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. And when you master that, when you truly learn how to focus on what's right instead of what's wrong, that's when happiness stops being something you chase and starts being something you live. Emotions are like fire. If you don't feed them, they burn out. If you do, they consume everything. Most people don't realize that anger, sadness, frustration, none of these emotions are designed to last. In fact, science shows that any emotion, good or bad, only has a natural lifespan of 90 seconds. That means after a minute and a half, the only reason you're still feeling it is because you're choosing to keep it alive. Think about that. The moment something bad happens, a rude comment, a mistake, a rejection, your brain triggers an emotional response. That's natural. But after 90 seconds, if you're still upset, it's because you're replaying the situation in your mind, reinforcing the feeling over and over. Your mind is the DJ, and you're letting it play the same painful track on repeat. Now let's test this. Close your eyes and think about the worst moment of your life. The heartbreak, the failure, the moment you felt completely powerless. If you focus on it long enough, you'll feel the pain as if it's happening now. Your chest tightens, your breathing changes. But here's the thing, that moment is gone. It's over. The only place it exists is in your mind. Now do the opposite. Close your eyes and think about the happiest moment of your life. The pure joy, the victory, the moment you felt truly alive. Notice how your body shifts, how your energy changes. You just proved something powerful. Your emotions don't control you, you control them. The 90-second rule is the ultimate tool for mental freedom. When negativity hits, acknowledge it, feel it fully. But once that 90-second timer is up, let it go. You don't owe your pain extra time. You don't have to relive your mistakes, your heartbreak, your failures like a broken record. You get to choose whether you keep feeding the emotion or starve it. Look at the most successful, resilient people in the world, athletes, leaders, top performers. Do you think they dwell on every mistake? No, they process, adjust, and move forward. Kobe Bryant, he had a rule. After a bad game, he gave himself one night to feel it. The next morning, it was gone. No excuses, no self-pity. Because the past only has power if you let it. Now, let's get real. Maybe someone betrayed you. Maybe you lost something you can't get back. Maybe you're carrying wounds so deep they feel permanent. But here's the truth. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not the emotions that try to drag you down. So next time negativity hits, give yourself 90 seconds. Feel it, breathe through it, then interrupt the pattern. Stand up, move, say something powerful out loud. Because the second you stop feeding negativity, it loses its grip on you. And when you master this, when you stop letting your emotions own you, you will be unstoppable. Your energy is your greatest asset, and the people around you either fuel it or drain it. Most people don't realize this, but your life is a direct reflection of the energy you allow into it. If you're constantly surrounded by complainers, doubters, and victims, don't be surprised when you start thinking, acting, and feeling just like them, because energy is contagious, whether you like it or not. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the weight of someone's negativity? They didn't have to say a word, but their presence alone drained you. That's because emotions are powerful. And when you're around negative people, their energy seeps into your mind like a virus. Before you know it, their fears become your fears. Their excuses become your excuses. Their misery becomes your misery. Jim Rohn said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that. Who's in your circle? Who do you talk to daily? If they're always complaining, blaming, and bringing negativity, guess what? You're absorbing that energy. But the opposite is also true. When you surround yourself with people who are driven, positive, and solution-focused, that energy lifts you. It pushes you higher. Look at successful people. They don't keep toxic people in their lives. They don't waste energy arguing with doubters or trying to fix people who refuse to change. They protect their space like their life depends on it, because it does. Steve Jobs was ruthless about this. He believed in surrounding himself with visionaries, people who challenged him, inspired him, and forced him to think bigger. He cut out negativity without hesitation because he knew his success depended on it. Now I get it. Some of the negative people in your life might be family, close friends, coworkers. You can't always cut them out completely, but you can control how much access they have to you. If every conversation with someone leaves you drained, have fewer conversations. If someone constantly fills your mind with doubt, stop sharing your dreams with them. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your energy. This is not about being cold or selfish. It's about self-respect. You have a responsibility to protect your mindset, your growth, your peace. If someone is drowning and refuses to swim, you can't let them pull you under. You can love them from a distance, but you must choose yourself. So, here's your challenge. Take a hard look at your circle. Who are the energy drainers? Who are the ones always stuck in problems but never looking for solutions? Start distancing yourself. Then find the people who push you, who believe in you, who inspire you. Spend more time with them, because when you guard your energy, when you surround yourself with the right people, you just change your mindset. You change your life. And that's how you win. Most people live their entire lives waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right person, waiting for something, anything to change. before they finally give themselves permission to be happy. But here's the truth that will set you free. Happiness isn't something you find, it's something you choose. And if you don't choose it now, you never will. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, I'll be happy when? I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll be happy when I lose the weight. I'll be happy when I find the right relationship. But what happens when you get there? You celebrate for a moment, and then suddenly there's another I'll be happy when waiting around the corner. The goalpost keeps moving, and happiness stays just out of reach. This is the trap most people fall into, the belief that happiness exists somewhere in the future, that it's something they have to earn, something they have to chase. But real happiness isn't out there, it's here. It's in this moment, in this breath, in this exact second of your life. And if you can't find joy in the present, you won't find it in the future either. There's a powerful story about a man who spent his whole life chasing success. He worked nonstop, sacrificed his health, his relationships, telling himself one day it'll all be worth it. Then one day he finally made it. The wealth, the power, everything he dreamed of, but instead of feeling fulfilled, he felt empty. Because in his obsession with the future, he had forgotten how to live in the present. And when he looked back, he realized he had spent his entire life postponing his own happiness. That's what so many people do. They put their joy on hold, believing that the next big achievement will finally make them feel complete. But here's what you have to understand. Happiness is not a destination, it's a state of being. And if you don't learn how to access it now, you never will. So how do you stop waiting? You start by changing your focus. Instead of obsessing over what's missing, start noticing what's already here. Right now, in this moment, there is something to appreciate. The air in your lungs, the warmth of the sun, the fact that you woke up today with another chance to live. Gratitude isn't just some cliche, it's the key to unlocking happiness instantly. You also have to drop the illusion that life will be perfect before you allow yourself to be happy. There will always be challenges, stress, problems. But if you wait for everything to be perfect, you will wait forever. The happiest people in the world aren't the ones with perfect lives. They're the ones who decide every single day to find joy despite the chaos. So stop waiting, stop chasing, stop telling yourself that happiness is somewhere out there, because the moment you stop searching is the moment you realize it's been here all along.